I mean, building a brand is difficult, right? I feel like one of the biggest obstacles that a creative has to do is not only the business side, right? You got to learn all that. You got to make sure all your ducks is in a row. So not only do you you don't get audited and other things like that, but also nobody steals your shit, right? Ownership above everything, right? The next thing though, I feel like the next big hurdle is marketing, right? So what was your experience developing your marketing strategy for your brands? What was that? What did that feel like? What was that like going through that?
Especially we starting off, we were very intentional and personal with that, and we felt like we could have, and maybe that would have took our brand to bigger heights. Reached out and had certain stuff outsourced, and certain stuff, tapped in. But we were so hands on to the point where we're not at that level to let somebody else create this for us. So we felt like we had to do that. And me knowing what I know now, a few things we should have had outsourced as far as marketing wise. But our only tool that we really use, which is still is Instagram. We super tapped in with Instagram as far as like promotion and marketing wise, but we would have used other avenues and other resources, outsourced and do things, tap in with different clients and everything and stuff like that.
What about you, Zeus?
Yes, honestly, so much parallels between us. Same shit. Marketing, again, we wanted to keep the brand like close to our heart, so it was hard to let some of it go and outsource some of the shit because we always want to know what the hell is being put out. Knowing now, like you can always be a part of that process, but it's just somebody that can just take over your social media, for example. So that's something we always struggled with, still struggle with, is the marketing portion of it. Like even the content creating, like I just feel like
it's a lot.
I make it, I take a picture of it, put it out. You're gonna like it. It's not that.
And then it gets old in a day. Like the post is old. And then if you repost it, then it loses its interaction every time you repost that same image.
The attention span today is like a few seconds.
Man. Yeah. And so that's definitely an obstacle you have to overcome. What are some ways that the brands that you like, you see them overcoming that obstacle?
Yeah. So it's funny because I think about this literally every day waking hours. Like I go back to Hidden, right? He started doing the hashtags on his posts and paying for ads. He doesn't do any of that shit no more.
No.
Sometimes he won't even put any words on his post, but his shit does so well. So like that's what it is. You have to figure out something easy to do. Like some of the brand, he's at a point where he or she, honestly, we don't know if it's a he or she, they're paying actors to do fire promos for them.
Right.
They don't even need that, but they got the budget for it. So
didn't they with their first advertisements for their first drop? It was who is it that was eating in the delicatessen? Who was that actor?
The dude from How to Make It in America, the Jewish dude.
With Cuddy. Damn son, what's his name, bro?
Is it Brian son?
But it was somebody famous. I remember. I was just like, yo, what? And so when you put that, like you said, and it's whack that sometimes you gotta like, bend the knee to some of these influencers or these actors to get your brand out there. Right. But if you do it like for example, I think the brand is called Amile, where they had, it was Kith. Kith had Jerry Seinfeld.
They got a lot of people.
But the thing is it was crazy. Like you would never think Seinfeld, but then you got Seinfeld with a Knicks jersey on. It's like, bro, you just bringing it back to the 90s. Brilliant. Imagery great, And so sometimes it's like, okay, yeah, you got to bend the knee. But if you're going to bend the knee, if you can find someone that is really well knit, and whatever they created, it can really be tied into your brand and your, what you want to show.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
I'm gonna say this. You're right, but I think people need to use the resources they got, right, and figure out how you're gonna pay for it. Because if JP a photographer is, I'm gonna pay what he charged, right? I'm not gonna lowball that. I got a friend actually, amazing photographer. Marcel. Oh. Yeah. For his friends.
Oh yeah, Marcel.
Yeah. For his friends, he'll just send you an Amazon list. Yo, give me a few things off of here and I'll work with you. He don't want to take money from us.
Right.
But you gotta, use your resources because some people are doing dope shit out there, and you don't have to go pay for Jerry Seinfeld. You could get something that look just as good, but now you got to market it, right? You want people to see it, so use the resources you got.
So tapping more into like the marketing. Do you have a physical space, or are you just online?
No,
Online.
space.
You got no physical space, no physical space. Is that part of your plan eventually to have a physical space, or are you gonna stay on like? Because for me, for my brand, I don't want no physical space. I don't want a storefront. I want a warehouse where all the stuff is coming out. But that's for my brand. So what about for you guys? What are you feeling?
I want one.
Okay.
It was always a dream. Now, is that fiscally
responsible
and the right thing to do in New York? Hell no. but like I would love a storefront. You know what I mean?
Why?
That more or less, not even just to sell my art, just so the culture can be appreciated there. You know what I mean? Like people can pull up, cop what they want, chill, do what they want to do. Like I see so much creatives doing amazing things with storefronts, and I get jealous.
Right.
I feel like, yo, if I had a storefront, like I would give so much to the culture. Like I would tap in ways unimaginable. And then like that's what makes me want a storefront. But like I said, then it's like it's just not. It doesn't work like fiscally, but you know.
Yeah, like it's always been a dream to have brick and mortar, obviously, and figure out how to curate that space to attract different groups of people and hopefully make it so different people that you know can also contribute to that space. Honestly, like he's saying, like getting a 365 physical space is not doable.
If like at least 2.5 million.
But
in New York City.
But there is ways to do like physical pop-ups extended time, like a week at a time, a month at a time, and everybody can come see your shit. You know, there are ways to do that. I don't know if I'm ready for that yet, but I mean that shit like we could talk about. Like we find a spot that for a week is gonna charge us $2,000, bro. We make it happen. Like it's easy like that. So
there is a workworkaround.
Yeah,
right?
there's a workaround.
So the pop-ups are definitely a great way to we just did a pop-up at the Bronx Native for Splaticus and for 22 Swag.
Well, just like a day joint.
Yeah, so he I don't know if you know or who that guy is.
I know of him.
Yeah. He so on the first day of New York Fashion Week, he had a little pop-up shop. He was like, yo, give me 50 beans and pull up, and I have space on a rack for you.
That's nice.
I'm marketing on my platform. He's got like 30, 40,000 followers, and was like, I'm gonna have people pull up and this and that. Make sure you come prep. And so I feel like, yes, like me still, like after hearing what you were saying, I'm now starting to reconsider having a space because yes, having a space, you can do events there. Like, like you can host other brands and make a little bit of money off that and things like that. So there is a profitability to it, even though, my main thing was like, bro, they not charging motherfuckers. They're not arresting motherfuckers for coming in, stealing my shit, walking out my store. The cops in the city are going, well, you shouldn't have had a store. Like, that's how they treat people. So I'm like, yo, fuck that. I'd rather have a warehouse with a machine gun on it so you can't come in my shit.
Nah, but the way to do that is
you want them to hit him with the hammer if it's your shit.
You can hit different neighborhoods if you're doing these temporary pop-ups.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, to pop-ups, man. That was my avenue. At the peak of our success, I would definitely say pop-ups. Like that was the real way we got our stuff to the people, and it was amazing.